I so love that music. And I be wanting to just keep it playing and playing and playing. But no, it's time for Imposter Syndrome Disrupted Live, the LinkedIn Live version. So I can't just keep rocking to the music or enjoying the sounds of the music. I'm with you. So, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is July 13th. It's summer. At least I hope it is where you're at and you're having nice weather, but it is summer, July, right? So July 13th, and we're here every second and fourth Tuesday for Imposter Syndrome Disrupted. So glad to have all that can join us. So come on in. You know how we do. Put it in the chat. Who's here with us? Who's here with me? And I said us because I'm looking at my guest because she's in the green room, so to speak. And she's doing this like in the green room. You can't see her, but I can see her. So that's why I said us, but you'll see her shortly. But who's here with us? Put it in the chat. Who are you? Make sure, though, you get StreamYard permission. So the hyperlink that should be in the text of my post for this, put it, click on it so that when you do comment, I can see your profile image and know who I'm talking with. But put in the chat who's here with us, where you're at, and all that good stuff. But July is here. Summer is here. Hope you're having good weather. Hope all is going well for you. So I've had a busy morning already. It was up at a 7:45 a.m. meeting this morning. So my morning has been going, has been great and busy. And I bring that up because it's like we're transitioning back into in-person activities. Some of us are. So have you started meeting people in person? If you're an entrepreneur, because this is a women's entrepreneur focused show, if you're a woman entrepreneur and you do public speaking or event speaking and training, in-person activity, have you started doing that again? So my meeting this morning was a networking meeting. It was so great meeting in person because I'm an extrovert, if you can tell. Yeah, I'm proud of it. Claim it fully. So it was so great being able to meet in person this morning for this particular networking group that I meet. And I've been a member of the group for a long time, but it was all during the pandemic. So it was the first time meeting my group in person, and it was so exciting. But anyway, who's here? Come on in. Let's get this show started. Now, wanted to make sure I get to a lot of things because I have not just one guest today. I have two guests today, so I can't just linger and talk with you. We're going to get some things started. So let me go into our agenda as always. And by way of information or introduction, I'm Clarene Mitchell, the LinkedIn Results Igniter, the creator and host of LinkedIn Live, this LinkedIn Live show, Imposter Syndrome Disrupted. And as I always say, I'm not the imposter syndrome expert. I am an entrepreneur, and I do help my clients leverage LinkedIn in a way to generate results. But this show is all about supporting, empowering women entrepreneurs so we can step out from being behind, the curtain, so to speak, because we're all up in our heads about what we can't do and we're not good enough, or what others, try to feed us that's negative and may hold us back. So this show is all about pumping us up, giving us the community of support, resources, and information to give us what we need to stay bold in our brilliance so that we can get the results we want for our business. Because that's what it's all about, staying in business, right? Not just staying in business, but thriving as women business owners. So let me get to the agenda. So based on the quote today is based on the topic my guest and I will, be discussing. And if you're not familiar with this quote, I'm sure you've heard it in one way or another. The great, and I'll just leave it at that because I'll start talking about her and the time will just go. So I'm going to just leave it at that. The great Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm. If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. I'm going to let that just sit a minute. Yeah, I see you in the back. in the green room. Yes. Snap to that. Finger snap. If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. If they don't give us a seat at the table, we got to take our own chairs. Actually, I'm leaving that up for a moment, but actually in 2019, I always have to think back because of the pandemic. In 2019, I was in the mode of, okay, not getting a seat at the table. I'm going to create my own table. How about that? And this was what I was doing locally before the pandemic hit, where I was creating my own events, creating my own table, because I wasn't being invited, or it was the pay to play and all of that kind of process. I was going strong, doing events on my own and drawing attendees, right? So yes, if they don't give us a seat at the table, hey, we don't have to wait for the door to be opened up to us in the red carpet. We can open the doors for ourselves and take a chair, or we can roll out the carpet and have our own, table, right? So I love this quote. I love the legacy of Shirley Chisholm. But again, if you're not familiar with the great Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm, look her up because you'll be inspired. All right, so that was the quote for today. Let me see who's with us. So the first one up, I always have to do this. The first one up, and then some others, but the first one up, take your chair and your table. All right, Cherie. Yes. Again, like, we don't have to necessarily wait for others to create for us. We have the power where we can create for ourselves. We don't have to wait for others to, create and invite us to the table. We can do that ourselves. Take our own chair and your own table. Love it, love it, love it. So true. And hi, Patricia. Nice to have you here. Yes, yes. Allison, good to have you here. I made my own table. Exactly. We can make our own tables. We don't have to sit back and wait, because truth be told, and we understand, especially we as women entrepreneurs, we as especially women of color entrepreneurs, there's doors that are closed to us, period. And so we have to, sometimes we go beyond just taking our own chair, creating our own tables. Yes. What, Serena? Too many times I was told my voice didn't matter, and I was finally like, bye. Yes. I love it, love it, love it. We don't have to have others. Love it, Allison. Thank you. We don't have, I'm not going to say we don't have to. We shouldn't let others define us. Or others tell us what we can do, where we should go or can't go, and all of that. That is our right. That is our privilege, to be able to define ourselves and determine where we're going. All right. I love it. Yes. Good for you, Allison. Keep it going. So that being said, so that's the quote. Let me get into the other business. So news. 2 articles I want to share with you. So do you have your pen and paper ready? Pen and pencil, whatever the case may be, however you jot down notes. 2 articles, and both of them from Entrepreneur Magazine, because I love Entrepreneur Magazine. Find great content there. It just so happens today, both of them are from there. But this first one is 5 lessons you can learn from some of the world's best business women. So not necessarily entrepreneurs, but business women. Each of those 5 women have in this article some great quotes. Share great quote. There's great quotes and some information about them. And so the quote that I liked the best, I shouldn't say the best, but I want to share, is from Rihanna. And she said, keep going. Success will find you down the road. And so just as encouragement, because it can be challenging, being women entrepreneurs, but we have to keep going. Keep going, keep doing things that we know we believe in and believe about our business. Keep innovating, keep consistent with what we do, and innovate as we go along. But success is there for us down the road, the more that we can continue pushing on, right? And that's a part of even the show. We join forces together. There's greatness in numbers, right? When we can support and cheer each other on. So again, 5 lessons you can learn from some of the world's best businesswomen, and this is an entrepreneur magazine, and it was just published on or back June 18th. All right. And the next one is how to go from incredibly shy to insanely confident so your business can thrive. Now, this one specifically reaches to or connects to the show and why I even created this show, and having clients, women entrepreneur clients who were shy, introverts, and not willing to be bold on LinkedIn. And to get clients on LinkedIn or to get business and organic leads and all of that, we have to be bold on the platform. We don't have the luxury of being shy or being, behind the scenes. We have to, and I have it here handy, my cheerleaders, my palms, but we have to be our biggest fans on LinkedIn, in life, to push our businesses forward, right? Nobody else is going to do it the way that we can, right? And until we can believe in ourselves and be our biggest cheerleaders, then others come along and rally with us, right? So making sure we do that. But so this article again, how to go from incredibly shy to insanely confident so your business can thrive. Entrepreneur Magazine again, June 25th. One of the points that it includes is don't play small or hold your business back. And again, we can't afford to hold our business back because we may be shy, we may be introverted, or we may be hesitant about certain things. We have to do whatever we can to fortify our confidence so that we get out there and do what we need to do. All right. And so look those up. I will promise as soon as I end this broadcast, I will put the links to those articles as a comment. All right. So check it out. Check the thread so you can see that. Let me change up something real quick. So I will be giving away my LinkedIn book at the end. So Shine Online with LinkedIn, if you can see, for those who don't already have it. So put in the chat, mind the transitions to win the book. I'm hoping that I'm using a tool to go on an automated giveaway tool. So I hope it works. So please, someone do that right away, only one time, so that I can see that it's working, the tool right away. Otherwise, I'll figure out how else to do it. All right. So put in the comments, mind the transition. So the £, mind the transitions. Put the hashtag mind the transitions in the comments. Mind the transitions, mind the transitions. Exactly, Cherie, where I see it and I want to make sure I don't lose it. As you say, you are your best pitch person. We should be. Right? We are our best pitcher persons, and others can do it with us. And that is even better, but it starts with us first. All right. And so mind the transitions. So mind the transitions hey, Patrick Baker, nice to have you here. Let me see. So it's not working. So just a moment. I'm going to see if I can get it going. Wow. Okay. Me and this tool are going to have to experiment. I have to figure out how to do it. All right. So no more time delay. I'm going to get to my guest. I'm going to just bring her on because that'll keep me from talking. Hey! And let me just say, before I even let her get started, I'm going to say how we met and why. So, y'all look at her. Like, she ready to see what I'm going to say with this. So for those who don't know, I don't and so this is episode 13. I don't practice anything in advance. I get on and I flow. And guests never fully know what I'm going to say. They trust in me and I trust them. And that's great. Don't do that, Kesha. Come on, bring the eyes. Oh, but wait a minute. Before we get started, I got to do this. Her birthday's coming up. Confetti. Her birthday's coming up in 2 days, right?
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Kesha.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that's working. The confetti works. I just can't get the tool to work.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, wait a minute. Now it won't stop. Okay. So I get it started and then it wouldn't stop. But so let me say this. Kesha and I, okay, for me, Kesha is another example of the power of LinkedIn. And you never know who's watching you, who's tracking you, who is just sitting and watching and gaining either a favorable impression of you or non-favorable impression of you. And again, so this show is not about, LinkedIn training specifically, but it has to come up because that's what I do. Mm-hmm. But as an example, a real life example of how, and it is interesting because in the promotion of the show, I'm posting, on various social media platforms. And Kesha made a point or comment of, I'm looking forward to, I've been watching you a long time. I'm like, and it's true. And I want her to talk about this though, how, not necessarily me, just the point of how people watch you. And I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to let her begin the process of breaking it down and getting to our real topic here. I'm not going to say the name of the event, but earlier this year, I received a direct message from an event organizer inviting me to be a speaker for an event. And I'm like, that's interesting. I'm always curious how the breadcrumbs come to me,
right?
So I can replicate the process. And I asked her, and she said Kesha had referred her to me. And I'm like, Kesha, who? Because Kesha and I, at that point, were not first level connections on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. We were not. And then, so of course, after that, I sent her a message thanking her for referring me to be a speaker for the particular event. And then we're now, of course, then became first level connections. Yeah. But we weren't connected, but she was seeing me, and thankfully, she was impressed enough with my content that she referred someone to me for me to be a speaker for an event. And I'm going to leave it to you now, Kesha. Please come, introduce yourself. Who are you? And then go ahead. I'm going to just let you talk, let you flow with it. Like that whole event and the fact that you were watching me and why you thought I was the person that needed to be a speaker for the event.
Absolutely. And when the first thing I think about is representation. And representation is everything for me. A little bit about me. I have over 20 years of recruitment experience. I've been in the talent space. I'm in the diversity and equity inclusion space as we speak. I'm still in talent. I still recruit. So I'm always looking. I'm a recruiter to the core. So there's something about me that when I'm looking for something, I go and research it. But LinkedIn has always been my number one place that I go and do it. And when I was looking at this certain event, they were calling out these people that were on LinkedIn doing all these amazing things, and people that were training on LinkedIn, and that they had all this stuff happening on LinkedIn. And I said, hold up, because I don't see enough representation. That's what I said in my spirit first. And when I did that, I went out and looked, and I started looking, but I was following you, but I wasn't connected. And that's the thing. I wasn't connected, but I said, let me go through her content. Went and looked at your Instagram, went and looked at Facebook, and I am a researcher to the 10th power, so I'm always behind the scenes checking out things. And every single thing that I saw said, this is a woman that I would love to be connected to. This is a woman that needs to be represented. They need to know that this is what she's doing. She's doing it too, but they are not connected to her. So that was my number one reason for connecting you, because I saw that there was a gap. And we have to make sure that we're willing to say, when there is a gap, speak up, say something, call it out, because people that may miss it may be waiting on our eyes to see exactly that. And then we can be that voice to say, something's missing, and be okay with whatever comes behind it. but also be willing to stick our necks out. We need to make sure that we're willing to refer people and give people their flowers when they are already the bomb, doing the thing already. We have to be willing to give people their flowers, because what happens is we encourage them, and then that thing keeps going. They encourage somebody else. It keeps going. It's reciprocal, and it keeps growing and giving. And that's the power of adding value, Clarene, because you were adding value out here in these LinkedIn streets.
LinkedIn streets. Yes.
Constantly.
And that is supposed to be the focus, or the primary focus on LinkedIn, that I believe a lot, I believe I know a lot, especially entrepreneurs, miss out on the point of providing value versus steady shoving down our services, our businesses down people's throat. Like right now, so I put the ticker down, but I have a masterclass coming up next week, a LinkedIn Power Moves for Entrepreneurs masterclass. In these modes, when I'm promoting my class, it's just so hard for me, because it's not about value. It is value, because
that's the value.
I'm in the sales mode, kind of, sort of, to fill the seats. And so it's not the norm of what I generally do outside of these events, outside of this time frame. Is value, educating people, supporting people, that kind of content. And a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't understand that, because we're in the old sales mindset on the platform, cold calling or step pushing. And it's supposed to be about building relationships. And you do that by providing value and networking in an authentic way. And so I just love and appreciate the fact that we have this real life example of how we connected based upon my content, and that content being value orientated content.
Period.
And that led to, you watching me and looking at other platforms too. Other platforms too.
Volumes. It speaks volumes. And here's the thing: when you show up in your element and all of your Clarene-ness and all the things that you do, you're adding value. And because you're adding value, people grab onto it. So when you toot your own horn, baby, because that's what it is. When you're talking about your LinkedIn masterclass, you're flexing. That's your thing. You're flexing. And when you think about that ability to flex, I always say this over and over and over: flex, but don't cap. Because when you get down to it, you're not capping. That's really, you're going to provide value. You're going to show up. And because I recognize that I can say and put my name out there and say, she's somebody who's going to show value and give value, but she's not going to make it all about herself. And that's the biggest thing with adding values. We take a step back, and the thing that we're selling, the thing that we do, it automatically sells itself because of that relationship, because of that energy, because of that value add, because of what you're giving. And it constantly will come back to you, and it'll pop.
Exactly. It's that know, like, and trust factor, because people get to know you, they like you, then they're open to doing business with you because they trust you. And 9 times out of 10, you don't have to present that business to them. Because they know and like you, they're going to inquire. They're going to seek you out for the business if you're using the platform right. I have to highlight someone I've been trying to highlight, but this one I have to spend some time with for a minute, if you don't mind, Kesha. It's not your granny's LinkedIn. It's not your granny's LinkedIn. I love that.
That's always what I say over and over and over. It's not that old thing it used to be. Show up. You're right. Get the value. Show up. Add it constantly and do it authentically. Thank you for the reminder, Lanisha, because that's it. Dr. Adams in the building. That's it. That is it. It's not the old stuff you think anymore. We can show up as all of who we are, in our natural hair, showing up as who we are, providing the gifts that we have, because our gifts make room. And here's the other thing, Clarene. At the end of the day, when we think about imposter syndrome, we don't have to bite that bait. That's not our story. That's not our story.
That's disruptive. It's not. Disruptive.
We created to disrupt that thing and to show up and add value at the end of the day. And it's the adding value that are the keys that unlocks everything that we are looking for. Everything.
All right now. I love that.
Everything.
Unlock the key. Unlock. We have the key. We have the key to unlock the door.
Everything. Every door that we're looking to open is provided by the relationship, because networking truly is a superpower. My book, Networking, It's Your Superpower, my first book. When you think about all of those things, everything that we do is intertwined through relationships, and adding value is the key to relationships. And networking is just building relationships. Thank you, Dr. Adams. Dr. Adams,
she's on point for you.
Come on, Dr. Adams. That's my girl. And it's crazy because we met on Clubhouse.
You and Dr. Adams did.
And Dr. Adams. And that's the power of relationships, the power of authentically being who you are, the power of giving your gifts, the power of showing up authentically as who you are in all spaces. And what that does is it just gives us a sense of, now I can put my skates on and I can skate through any situation because I'm adding value.
Right. Good stuff. So how do you think, or what suggestions would you give, the top suggestions would you give entrepreneurs to really, beyond being authentic and adding value, but the best way for those who are especially introverted, how can they really stand up and be bold on LinkedIn? You about to drop it.
Listen, the fact of the matter is, number one, you need to own your gifts, own that thing you bring to the table, own whatever that is, that your baby, your passion, whatever that thing is, you need to first own it. And as you own that in the confidence of what it is, knowing your skill set, because once you honor who you are, your gifts, your strengths, that I always go back to the strengths finder, because as you understand what you bring to the table and owning it, having a game plan coupled with that is the key. So I always say to introverts, own what you're bringing to the table first, your confidence in your strengths, the confidence in who you are, and then get you a game plan. I don't do anything when it comes to networking without a game plan. And that game plan will then set you up for what do you want. How many people do you want to meet? When do you want to connect with them? What industry is that? How are you following up with them? Following up is everything all the time. But again, owning your strengths, your gifts, and all of your you-ness, your quirkiness, whatever you come to the table with, your laugh, your chuckle, your smile, whatever it is, owning who you are is the key to unlocking all of that. And it takes some inside work, right? To get rid of all the imposter stuff that systemically has been plaguing us. It takes time and it takes work. But as you think about owning who you are, owning your gifts, owning what you bring to the table, that's the number one thing I would say to entrepreneurs. And know that everything is relational. Value every relationship and let your name ring bells. When people hear your name, they should hear, oh yeah, she's gonna come and bring that heat.
Right. And that's all about branding, right? Your name should, your presence, your reputation speaks for you when you're not in the room, right? And that's, our name has to have power to it. But we have to put that power to our names by boldly owning. So for those who who are struggling with that a little bit, and you mentioned, Kesha, Strength Finders, if those who are watching, if you've not gone through and done your Strength Finder assessment, look it up. Make sure you go through that process, or other evaluations. There's so many out there, but Strength Finders is one of my favorites. And go through that process and really, get to know yourself at a deeper level. The deeper you know yourself, the deeper you believe in yourself, your secret sauce, like whatever it is, your secret sauce is what you bring to the table like nobody else does. Then it's all in popping, so to speak. Then like nobody can touch it.
And it doesn't matter how many people do it. It does not matter how many people do what you do.
They don't do it like you.
They can never do it like you, because your gift, your secret sauce is your secret sauce. What you're putting in, no one else will put in the same exact way. I say that all the time to entrepreneurs. Go down the bread aisle. It's some Texas toast. It's some thin toast. It's some little medium toast. It's some brown toast. It's some white bread. There's so many variances of bread. And I always think of that in the frame of your gifts. People can do exactly what you do and show up in the same space that you show up in. They're not going to have on what you have on. They're not going to be thinking what you're thinking. They're not going to approach people the way that you do. They're not going to build relationship the way that you do. They're not going to do any of the things the way that you do it. So remember that owning who you are, knowing that there's no other Clarene Mitchell, baby. There's nobody else.
Nope, not a one. Some others may have the same title I do or do similar work or in a similar kind of business. Yeah. The same with you, but I know my brilliance and what I bring to the table. I know it. I own it. I revel in it. And when I walk in a room, people know I'm there. When I walk in the room, not just my presence, my personality, my confidence, energy, right? And that energy comes with me when I come in the room because of my confidence. If I'm not confident in who I am and what I bring to the table, what differentiates me from others, I'm gonna struggle. That's gonna exude, as well. So we have to own that. So again, do your strength finders, do whatever assessment that you can access to just give you those core values that are important to you, those core skills, to give you the full details of that, and then just, really meditate on them. Right? Meditate. Don't just do it and then, that was interesting, and then it's on a shelf, so to speak. No, meditate on that, study on it, because then you're studying you. And the more you know you and you're in touch with you, the more you can walk boldly in that and have that secret sauce like no one else and be bold with that.
That's right.
We're going to take just a quick moment, Kesha, because I have a show partner that's popping in the studio. Okay, so this is going to be one of those moments. See, her smile is just already there. This is going to be one of those moments that Crown Day was last week, right, Kesha?
The 3rd, yep.
Okay, but watch this. Oh, let's see. So, look at this. So, this 3 in a row crowns, natural, beautiful black crowns. 3 gorgeous black crowns, natural, of women who know their secret sauce, right? Who own their secret sauce, regardless of black women who, all of this glory, all this crown that's here naturally, and we're still smart, we're still intelligent, skills, experience, and all of that. We're still professional. We're still have all of this that we bring to the table, in addition to these crowns that come with this as well. But we're owning them. But so I just had to acknowledge the crown moment right here.
That's beautiful. This is beautiful for me to see this, because when I went natural probably 10 years ago now, there wasn't a lot of representation in corporate America for me. And so when I popped out with it, I like to get on my suits and I like to feel good. So when things weren't right, baby, I felt like I needed to put on a straight wig.
We've gone through those journeys, even me. I've had my natural hair 30 years now, and I've gone through the back and forth and the roller coasters just because of what society puts on us when we walk in rooms when we're like this. And until, we fully embrace it and this means get over it. And
you're going to get all of this.
Right. As long as you don't touch, yes. Respect it. But we've all gone through it. I'm sure the journeys for black women who have natural hair, where I've had my times where I flatten it, or I'm trying to pull it up, but it's a part of who we are. And as an example, our hair, and I'm not trying to turn this into a hair show, but as an example, for us, part of it is our hair. For someone else, it may be something else, right? But it's the point of it's a part of us, and we need to own it. And when we start to own it, then others start to like don't even see it, or it doesn't even phase them, because it's the overall package that matters more than just the hair. All right. Okay, let me stop.
Glasses.
Kesha, if I can just make room for Rosalind, I'm gonna bring you right back. Okay.
Sounds good.
Bye, Kesha.
She's coming back. She's still there with us. Hey, Rosalind, how are you, sis?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So nice to have you here. So, why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself and talk about your business? And I hear that you have, and I'm trying to find something here. There it is. So I hear you have something interesting coming up, something, a class or something, some event or something. Tell me about it.
I have something big coming. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Clarene. As you stated, I am Rosalind Price. I'm the CEO of Rosalind Price Consulting, and I'm a change and transition strategist. So in English, what that means is that I help individuals, leaders, and teams execute effective change and business strategies. And what I do is I use what I like to call a holistic approach. And so basically what I do is I make sure that the businesses and the teams and individuals that I partner with, that they are executing strategies that are creating synergy between the processes, the people, and the tools that are needed to execute the change and to sustain the change. And then also with consideration of those who are impacted by the change. The other thing I do, and that's from the logical perspective, but from an empathetic perspective, I make sure that not only from a strategy that they have the synergy, but from that individual and that team and that people perspective, I ensure that they have established balance to ensure that they have balance between their work life, their personal life, ensuring that they're getting that personal and professional development that they need and that their team members need as well. And so the great opportunity, Clarene, that you mentioned is that if anybody wants to become more of a change capable leader, if they truly want to understand what it means to lead from a holistic perspective, an empathetic perspective, and a logical perspective, or they need to create some more synergy and balance between their work and within that of their teams and their personal life, please join me. I have a free masterclass that I will be conducting July 26th through the 30th from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be conducted live in my private Facebook group, Mind the Transitions with Rosalind Price. So please make sure you join me there. You are welcome. You will need to register so that you can get your free course book that will guide you throughout the process of the masterclass. And so it's going to be an exciting time. And if you want to reach me, you can reach me via my website, rrishardprice.com. I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook under R. Richard Price Consulting or Rosalind Price. And I'm on Instagram as well, Rosalind Price _1. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. It's going to be a fun time. So join me, please. Thank you, Clarene.
but technical challenges, they happen. But apologies for that for those who can. We're back. Technical challenges, and I'm trying to troubleshoot. So thank you for your patience and still being here, Kesha. Let me see if I can get our other guest back. And now stay with us, Kesha, if you can. We'll continue until she can come back.
Okay.
But it was just, I'm sorry we lost her. I hope she can rejoin us because it was right in the middle of her introduction and her talking about her business.
No, she finished her introduction. She got everything through. She sure did. I could see her. She was actually still live.
Okay, good. So I got off then, and I'll have to check and see where the gap was. All right. Everything
good. All good.
All right. It worked out.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. There she is. Rosalind, my apologies. It's like on my end, I couldn't get back on. Something was going on in technical, but I always use experiences as a lesson, right? And things happen, especially with us as entrepreneurs. Thank you, Cherie. I have to put you up here because you're a trooper. She completed the message. Okay, you confirmed that. Thank you.
Sure did.
So I have to do the replay myself. But the lesson of technology, or just even aligning that or doing a comparison to life as entrepreneurs, things happen. And we can't let things that happen stop us. Thankfully, people couldn't see me on the back end doing all that I was doing and panicking. But I panicked as I act. I act at the same time. So the lesson of making sure no matter what happens, we have to keep making it moving forward, learning our lessons, doing what we can, and making things work. So anything else that you would like to add, Rosalind?
No, you know what? I know this is so vain, right? Because this is also vanity with our hair too. Because for us, it's also a power move, right? So
power move
is our brand. It's my personality. I call her. So here's your funny moment for the technology. I was making sure that I was looking camera. Same camera ready, even when there was technology. I was like, well, let me turn my camera off so I'm not sitting there with this. So Cherie, let me know if I was still camera ready.
You were fine. You did the thing. I was like, okay, go ahead on.
No, there's nothing else I want to say. I just want to say again, Clarene, thanks for the opportunity. I'm very passionate about this. And for me, it's all about, it's not just the work, it's the total health. So I'm excited about this upcoming masterclass, and it's going to be a treat for everyone that attends because it's going to be my honor to partner with them on their journey. So all are welcome.
Good. And I have the information in the ticker. So it is July 26th through the 30th, right? And that's the hyperlink for it, but that's long. I'll add it to the chat or in the comments as well for people to be able to click on it, right? Easily there. Kesha, anything else that you would like to add about just even the path and how we connected and I think, I don't know if you saw the comment, I got to make a trip to St. Louis. So your post be like, they got it going on in St. Louis networking wise. I need to do a road trip and pop up. Quick enough.
Come on and pop in.
But what I don't think I missed because Rosalind was talking when I got off for a little bit. But did you share your exciting news besides the birthday? But the exciting news, a little birdie told me something as major is happening on your end.
There's a couple major things happening, a bunch of major things happening. So I am also the new talk show host.
That's it.
Okay. The network plug that'll be airing through Unheard TV on Roku. We have our launch August 15th. Yes. And then I'm also the global ambassador with Dress for Success. And I'm working on some global things with Dress for Success as a global ambassador and doing commercials. And it is an opportunity to tell my story and really just to get out and give value and remind people that there are resources that are here for us.
Right.
Dress with Success is an amazing entity that does so many things globally. And the talk show has been something that I've been interested in wanting to do. And I said out loud, because I love talking. My grandma put me on the stage in church young to introduce her, because she's a singer, soprano voice, and she's in her choir. But she put me on the stage young to introduce them. And I was so good at entertaining and keeping up with the crowd that it became something that just kept happening and happening and happening. And then I started developing it. That was the thing, really honing in to the gift of speaking and moving the crowd. I like to say I like to move the crowd. Truly just using my voice in all of those things. And again, there was a time when I wasn't seeing representation. So I would make sure that there was representation as a recruiter, as someone in talent. It's always my goal to make sure that there's representation across the board, period.
Right.
I'm doing something, we need to see everything and everybody at the table.
At the table. And not just, and I applaud you for that. It's not just for like now because it's the trendy thing to do, or it's the culturally conscious thing to do, or it's the, because of Black Lives Matter, and it's, it's the fad kind of sort of. This is something that exactly it should be the norm and not the exception, right? Because it's plenty and so even in just a parallel here, I remember having a conversation with a magazine publisher locally, and it was about their hiring practices. And that person said they didn't have any Black writers because there weren't any qualified Black writers. Okay, that face you made, Kesha, like that's a little bit of how I looked, but it was beyond that in the way I felt when she said it, knowing, I'm a writer by training, education, and I knew many, but it's the conversation or the point of we got to stop doing things the way that's comfortable for us or the norm for us. If we really are committed to change, we have to go outside of the norm or the typical and to reach and to really be intentional with, and be intentional with making a change or being diverse with the process, because there are, as you recommended me to be the speaker for that event, we exist, right? We're out here. It's just, people have to be willing to go out of the normal circles that they have, the normal ways that they get their speakers, that they get their consultants, that they get their staff, or whatever the case may be, and get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's right.
And doing things out of the norm.
And it goes back to relationships. When these organizations make these statements that there's not this, there's not that, there's not this, what that reminds me is that there's a lack of relationship. There's a lack of relationship. And when there's a lack of relationship, what happens is, of course, they're not connected to people because they don't have a relationship with their community. But the bottom line is, when there's a lack of representation, it says to me, recruiters need to build relationships. Whoever they're using to scout needs to build relationships. And listen, all you have to do is ask, right? When you ask that thing that you're looking to obtain, you'll receive it. You ask, you receive. You knock, the door shall be open. You seek, and you shall find.
Yes, but the desire has to be there. The desire has to be there, and
it goes back to relationships. Everything that we do is relational. Everything. To going to the grocery store, to going to daycare, whatever you're doing, everything is relational. And when people see that you've taken an effort, you've made an effort to connect with them, to find out what makes them tick, what they love, what they don't love. When you do that, people will show up for you all the time. And I always say this, people don't leave companies. People leave those direct managers. They leave the people that they work with. They leave the people that are around them because they may not even recognize who's up in the company. It's typically the people that they work with that they leave. And it's about a lack of relationship. And when you think about retention, everything goes back to relationship, building your business, building your clients. It goes back to relationships. And when you add value, people are going to beat your door down. Whatever you're selling, because it's you, they're going to show up, period.
Right.
Because it's you.
That's a good note to end on, because we're like way over time as always. But so grateful and thankful for having you, Kesha, as my guest, and the time that Rosalind Price could share with us as well. Thank you. Shout out to all that joined us in the chat for the live, and shout outs to those who will see the replay as well. Engage, and I will tag team replay. Yeah, put in a hashtag replay, but I'll be checking to see if anyone has any questions. But share this as well so that others in your network can gain inspiration and empowerment from the conversation that we've had today. And Sheree, you've been a trooper. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here with us all the way through. And I'm glad it was of value to you. Right. And so as a reminder, my next LinkedIn Power Moves for Entrepreneur Masterclass is next Thursday. This is a free 90-minute Zoom, and it's live. So it's not where it's on a webinar and you just hear me. Nope, it's live where we can talk to each other, see each other. But I share power moves that entrepreneurs should be doing on LinkedIn to get organic results. So sign up. The link is in the comments or in the caption for this post. Other than that, our next episode will be on July 27th. So every second and fourth Tuesday, we're here. So July 27th. I have already have the guests lined up. It's going to be an information-packed episode. So mark your calendars to join us then on July 27th. If you're not connected to Kesha Kent on LinkedIn, what you waiting on? Send her a connection invite. Don't just follow her. Send her a connection invite and engage with her. Build authentic relationship, right? And this is about broadening our community as powerful women entrepreneurs and making sure that things happen. See you in Beverly Hills soon, ladies, and thank you. Oh, Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Is that where you are, Sheree? And are you inviting us to Beverly Hills?
Okay. We're coming now.
Thank you. So as my reminder, right? Let me get the crowns. So as a reminder, make sure we're always putting our crowns on, our S's on our chests, bossing up on LinkedIn and leveraging the platform so we can get the business that we deserve. All right. So thank you, everyone. See you next time.